Hello guys, today we learn how to bind list box from database using Entity Framework in ASP.NET Core Razor Pages using Visual Studio 2022. To implement this, you have required SQL Server 2012 and Visual Studio 2022. Here you can see the output design what will we need to achieve. Like you can see a list box having a value like reading, painting, hiking, cooking, traveling. When you select and click on button, you will get the selected ID for the hobbies. Basically this is the masters, hobby masters, where from that data will be coming. So need to implement this. Let us follow some steps in Visual Studio 2022 to implement this in Razor Pages. So first here you can see we need a SQL server in which there is table like hobby masters. In hobby master you can see ID, hobby name, display order, and there is primary key, clusters, ID, SC. When you select from hobby masters, you can see the data what have in a table like ID and their value 200 reading, 201 painting, hiking, cooking, traveling, photography, gardening, playing music, writing, yoga. And also you can see there is one column like display order. So from here you can set the display order in which you need to show data from the hobbies master list. So let us start. First we need to open Visual Studio 2022. Now click on Visual Studio 2022. Click on create new project. Then you need to select ASP.NET Core Web Razor Pages and then click on next. So it will ask for project name. So here you can put like project name list box in ASP.NET Core. You can put the project name according to your projects what you have need to develop. Now click on next button. Here you can see you are using .NET 8.0 long-term support and configure for HTTPS, and now click on create button. So here you can see your project will be created and have a different folders. Now we know there is some step need to follow. So first we need to install some required packages from the Nuget Package. First one is EntityFrameworkCore.SqlServer. Now right click, go to manage Nuget Packages. You also must ensure you have an internet connection so it can be downloaded. Go to browse and paste here. So you can see Microsoft.EntityFrameworkCore.SqlServer. Select it and install it. Second is Microsoft.entityFrameworkCore.tools. Select this one and install it. Third one, you need required Microsoft Extension.Configurations. Select this one and install. Go to packages. Now you can see you have installed 3 packages and all have the same version like 9.05. Now second step is need to create a folder like models. Model folders will be created. After that you need to create a class for Scaffold-DB class so that it will be connect to the database through the entity framework. So what you will write like Scaffold-DbContext server name, database name, trusted connections, and Microsoft.entityFrameworkCore.SqlServer and output directory, that is will be models. So copy this one, go to tools, then Nuget Package Manager you can see here, and go to console. In console you need to paste this one and now click on enter. Must ensure you have made folders models and sample class will be created in that folder. Now click on enter. So now you can see your Scaffold-DB context will be created. Here you will get all the tables like virtual DB set department, employee details, hobby master, language master, login user. And here the connection strings, you can connection string move from here to another pages. So for the security regions, and here are all the tables with some entity like department ID locations. Here you can see maximum value, you can see yes. So here we have created a Scaffold-DB context class. When you create this Scaffold-DB context class, also need to add in the program.cs file so that this service will be run. Go to Solution Explorer. Now go to program file and go here and press this. So here you can see add the DB context to the container builder service.add DB context, that is Scaffold-DB context, that is a class name. So you have need to follow these steps, then I'll come to the point here. We need to make a list box list. So for that, first you need to get like when you click on submit button, you need the ID, collection of ID. So we need to define a view model according to the design what you have required. So here you can see like public list integer selected hobby ID getter setter property equal to new list integer. What you have selected, it will be stored in here ID. And also you can see that is a list box. So another public property you need to define like public list, select list items and make object is hobby master, so that whatever in list can be selected. So first we need to create a hobby master view model. So go here, Solution Explorer, and then go to models, right click and create a class, and you can put the class name like hobby master view model and click on the add button. So your class will be created, and also need to define a public getter setter method with properties so that it can be bind. So here you now define public list integer selected hobby ID. For this one, each for selections that can be stored in this, store the selected hobby ID, and that is need to make a list box. So I have written here like public list selected list item make object of the hobby master, then getter setters. After that, you need to create a CSMS Razor pages. So already you have seen that when you create this page project, then one Razor pages will be index.html will be created. Now go here. That is index.html already have created. So I need to use here. So delete these ones and go to index.ch. Also you can delete these ones. No issue. Now here we need to write a connection strings. So that can be sh the database private read only, then Scaffold-DbContext, then make object of this. Then also need to make a constructor for this one. Go to here in yellow light and click on constructor, so that constructor will be created for this. So our main aim is to display a data from database. So here you can write the code on get methods. On get methods, then you need to write code here to display. So first we write the code here. Already I have written. So first one, bind property, and need to call the view model whatever I have made, like public virtual hobby view master view model what I have made here. Then make object of this hobby master view model getter setter. Bind property, here you write that will be strongly bind to the Razor pages. Then after that we need to write like fetch hobby master from the database. So we will write simply where hobby is equal to get hobby list, that is a function. So need to define these functions. So this function will be what? A list. So we write a method so that can be written and return a list. So here I have written like method to get hobbies as a selected list item. So what we will do, we define a list, then selected list item, and make a function name like get hobby list. After that, here you can see where hobby is equal to context.hobbies masters. All data will be here. Then after that you write dot select c equal to lambda expressions equal greater new selected list item, then write value c.id to string, then text c.hobbies name, then to list, and return what? Return hobbies. So whatever we get the data from database, that can be written as a list, and here we are calling hobbies get list. Also need to this data will be on the Razor pages. So what we will write here? So hobbies master, that is object of this view model, then equal to new hobbies view model, and hobbies master equal to hobbies. That data will be available in this hobbies master objects. Then after that need to write a code here so that it will be display. So already have written like this page, like select this one and paste. So here you can see, first you can comment this and understand first. Like, you define form method equal to post. For the list box items, I have defined what select ASP for hobby master view model dot selected hobby ID for selections. And for the item collections, here you can see, simply I have write ASP items, then model dot hobby view model dot hobby master. In hobby master you can get the selected list item as a collection, and you can write here multiple equal to multiple, that can be selection for multiple list text and class, and size 5 we have defined, and that is select. So from this code of 1 lines you can show as a list box from database. And after that I have defined like BR button type submit class button primary submit. So simply I have defined a button. Now I can run and see what will happen. Now run this application. So finally you can see your label will be appear like select your hobbies, and reading, painting, hiking, photograph, all the data from the database will be show here as a select. And you can select from control and mouse click, so whatever you need select you can select. And also you have to write a code so that when you select and click on button, means on post methods, so that will be selected. So close here and go index and write a method post methods here. Now I write a post method. Here you can see public void on post. Define a get the selected hobby ID. So whatever I have write, where selected hobby ID equal to hobby master dot selected hobby ID. And here I have defined a view data double a hobby master dot selected hobby ID. Whatever I have selected will be stored in view data, and process the selected hobbies for displaying them. Like I have hold like view data hobby ID equal to selected hobby ID, and for printing on console you can see for each where ID in selected hobby ID, and it will be looping. And here I have written console.writeLine selected hobby ID and ID, and all the selected list ID will be shown in the console. And after that here you can see like where hobby is equal to get hobby list, again binding the list so that also can be displayed on the post method. When you click on post, that list will be empty. So that's why you have written again like where hobby is equal to get hobby list. Then a model, you can see hobby master, new hobby master model, and hobby master equal to hobbies. Also we are assigning the value to hobby master for the selections. And here rebind the house, whatever you have selected, also you can bind from this one. Rebind the hobby master view model when selected value ID, so that it can be selected after the button click. So simply what I have written like hobby master dot selected hobby ID equal to list integer view data. Now run this application again. There is some error, so now delete this one and run it again. So you can see hobbies data list will be shown. Now I am selecting like hiking, cookies, traveling. Now click on. So in submit buttons for displaying, you will not write any code. Uncomment this. Uncomment this, and I have written here like view data how hobbies ID not equal to null. Then your selected hobbies ID is this. For each where ID in list integer view data house, your selected hobbies ID is for each where ID in list integer view data hobbies ID li id equal to li. So here you have make a condition whenever not equal to null. For this, when it will show when hobby id have some value. So when it value, it will have a value. When you click and select, then it will have a value. Now run it again. Now select hockey, cooking, traveling and click on submit button. So when you click on this one, so 202, 203, 204 data will ID will be shown here. When you select only reading and click on submit button, so you will get 200 only. When you click on writing, select writing and click on submit button, so 208 will ID will be displayed. So that's why we can implement the list box in ASP.NET Core Azure Pages in Visual Studio 2022. Thanks for watching my YouTube videos. If you want to more videos, please subscribe my YouTube channel.